Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there was a beautiful princess. She had a fiancé that she loved dearly. But one day, the princess faced a significant challenge. Her fiancé's father became really ill, and he went to visit his father. His father's last wishes were that he married a princess of his choice. The fiancé was grieving and said yes. His father could pick who he will marry. Shortly after, he married a princess of his deceased father's wish. Now the first ex-fiancée devised a plan to escape. She had talked with her father and told him how sad she was about the whole situation. She said she wanted 11 huntsmen that looked exactly like her, the same figure and the same size. Her father looked all over the kingdom for a group to fit her type, and he brought them to her. She put all of them in huntsmen's outfits, including herself. In their new appearance, the princess and her huntsmen set off to navigate the dangers of the forest and the challenges that lay ahead. As they encountered various trials, they bonded a friendship along each other, and they all had a dedication to the princess. Together they faced lots of things and the threat of discovery. The princess had an idea. Her and her huntsmen drove off to her ex-fiancé's kingdom. As they knocked on the door, they asked him if he needed huntsmen to help him. He said yes, and then they asked if 12 were good as well. The ex-fiancé said yes. He didn't know that his ex-fiancé was in the group of the 12 because they all looked the same, which allowed them to stay side by side and protect her without drawing any attention. As the group goes through the forest, they encounter lots of challenges. The princess, still in her disguise, proves herself to be skilled and resourceful, which earns a respect for the huntsman, forming a stronger bond with the king, also known as her ex-fiancé. Now, the king did have a lion. It was a very smart animal, as he knew all the hidden and secret things. One day the lion said to the king, "You know, you have 12 huntsmen, right?" The king said yes, and agreed they were 12 huntsmen. The lion continued to talk and said, "You know, they're wrong. They are girls instead of men." The king said that's absolutely not true. "How can you prove? There must be a way." The lion had an idea to scatter peas around the castle, and then you'll be able to tell. Now men would step on them with a strong walk and squish them, and women would trip them, push them over, and shuffle their feet. The king agreed to try this plan as they scattered the peas across the floor. Then came the huntsmen. Although the princess heard from across the room about this plan, she told all her girls to step strong and make sure to break the peas. The next day they tried it. They all got told about this experiment, but the king didn't know that they knew what it was. So they walked on it and stepped as firmly as they could. And as to the king's thought, they were men. Men are supposed to step on the peas. Then the king said to the lion that he lied, and the lion said no, they knew about this, and that something must have happened. So the lion came up with a new idea, to have 12 spinning wheels brought into the castle. Men wouldn't go up and admire them. Then they tried this again, although again they had a servant in the castle, and the servant overheard this and told the huntsman about this new proposal. She said to be strong and don't look at the spinning wheels. Now, when it came to the second test, they tried it again, and obviously they didn't look at the wheels. The king said to the lion, "You lied again. They are men, because first they stepped on the peas, second they didn't look at the spinning wheels." The lion said again that they knew it was going to be a test, and that they refused to believe anything. The lion says now. One day, the king took all 12 huntsmen hunting, and the longer he spent time together, the better he liked all of them. Once they were out hunting, there was news that the king's bride was coming. When the ex-fiancée, also known as one of the huntsmen, heard about this, it hurt her so much that it brought her to tears, and she fainted and fell to the ground. The king thought something happened to one of his huntsmen that he cared deeply about. So the king ran up, and in order to help him, he pulled off the huntsman's glove, and on the huntsman's finger was the ring that he had given to his first fiancée. He gasped and was confused. Then he looked at her face and had recognized her. This was his old fiancée. And his heart became so touched that he kissed her on the lips and said, "You are mine, I am yours. No one in the world can change that." So he sent a messenger to his other bride, saying that she should return to her own castle and that he already had a wife. Overall, they had their wedding and it was celebrated greatly. The lion was accepted back into the kingdom because he did tell the truth.